Hey all, thank you for joining us today. We're working through our Lenten adventure, as we're calling it. This should be kind of our second video in. We're a couple days into Lent at this point. We're past Ash Wednesday and all that good stuff. So we just kind of wanted to check in, talk about the activity that's with the kit, talk about where we are as far as, being a couple days into Lent and all of that good stuff here. So, Sean, can I put you on the spot and say, what are you giving up? Have you started it yet? Or have you decided you're going to do something instead? Or where are you at with that?
Yeah, so okay, I haven't gotten the revelation of like, hey, Sean, this is what you need to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that hasn't happened yet. But
Okay.
uh, this year, I am excited to be like consistently doing these kind of prayer activities, and I am doing a devotional, which I've done a couple times before. I don't think I've ever made all 40 days.
Mm.
So there was a great NT Wright one, so I'm just picking that back up again.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah. Yeah. So mine might be oddly specific, but I think it's something that God is placing in my heart. I came across, we do it to plea. We've done every Thursday for most of the pandemic, these prayer challenges or like prayer prompts, just things to get people to pray. And I bought this book and it just has like per day, like five. And I boil it down to two and we shoot a really quick video about it. And there was one that really stuck out to me about giving your leisure time to God. Because I've always been one to like buy into like whatever you do, work as if for God, not for man. I love like that Martin Luther King quote where he's like, well, even if you're a street sweeper, had people say, here was a great street sweeper, and doing that like work for God. But I've never really thought of like leisure time. I don't know. Maybe I've just never put two and two together. I've always felt like, all right, I gave God my work time. This is my time. And so being a youth pastor, this, Sean, we have the weirdest job and of like, we typically are in the church for in the mornings and then we're with kids afternoons, evenings, all that kind of stuff when they're off school. So I have this weird buffer zone of like, I'd say like 1 to 4, where typically like that is my time locked in stone. So I'm trying to like, I'm giving up screen time or like unproductive leisure in that window. So I'm excited about it. I mean, being a couple of days in, it's still like fun. It's still fresh. It gave me a reason to get the guitar out, get a book out, that kind of stuff. But I'm nervous because I think after about a week more, I'm going to be like desperate to just watch some TV during that time.
Yeah, okay. I got a hack for you if you want it.
All right, let me have it.
I just listened through all the Narnia books on audiobook,
Mm.
and it is both entertaining and helps you think about God.
All
So
right.
there you go. That'll
All
last
right.
you, let's see,
With
probably
what,
like
7 of them?
4 days if
Yeah,
you
they're
listen
quick.
as aggressively as I did. So
Okay. All right, some aggressive listening. I like that. Because, yeah, I think, yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to fill those free times, but I know I typically just fill it with nonsense. So I want to
yep.
fill it with productivity and thinking about God and those kinds of things.
Yeah, totally do it. Well, cool. So our first week is this 5 finger prayer
Mm-hmm.
thing and the labyrinth. Uh,
Yeah.
so what do you know about labyrinths and prayer?
I'm going to be honest here. I'm shooting blind with those of you who are working through this with us. I've never combined the two. I did like years ago when I was a student in youth group, like prayer walks, where you pick a place, whether it's like the halls of your church or it's a community, and you walk and pray and everything like that. And I would say that's the closest I've come through. And I will admit, in my own experience, I vibed with them or didn't vibe with them. I maybe based on who I was with or how it was run, or sometimes I'm like, yeah, this is a really powerful experience, and other times like, man, this is making me uncomfortable. So yeah, I have no experience is the word I'm going to use. What about you?
Yeah, so I've done a couple labyrinths, but they're pretty new to me, relatively new in I guess my faith walk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yeah, we had one at the church that was set up. That was just like it just filled a room basically. We put it on a tarp and you can roll it out and do this walk. But there's some other ones that I've come across at churches or retreat centers.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, one of my friends uh, over the summer, she was taking walks to different labyrinths kind of
Okay.
around the city.
Yeah.
So she would go and walk to these labyrinths a couple miles away, and walk the labyrinth and walk back. And that was kind of her weekly ritual. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I feel like I've never had an amazingly like revelatory experience walking a labyrinth. Like it hasn't happened for me, but uh, they're still really special. And I
Mhm.
think the just the act of combining doing something physical with praying, and also kind of doing something that's really ancient, is powerful and changes you in ways that maybe you aren't even aware of.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I mean, that's when you. I got to give Sean credit. He's the one who sent me the Lent kit that we've now distributed. I loved all of the physical. If I can give a preview, if you haven't thumbed through it, the last week you make a recipe as a family and you cook, and then you pray with what the food that you make. I love all the hands-on and everything because I think it just gets so easy because prayer is such it's designed you can do it anywhere. So I love that people do this, but like you pray in your car while you're driving or you pray while you're in line and those kinds of things. But it's very different than when you focus down and you stop what you're doing but do something physical. Yeah, I like it. I'm excited to kind of see where it goes. And yeah, I hope that you guys, it's cliche, you get in what you put out, so if you focus in and focus on the maze or the labyrinth and make it. I noticed in our kits there's paper you can do it, or you can even add on top of it to make it even more sensory and
Yep.
everything, and I think that's really neat.
Yeah, little trick with the 5 finger prayer. You can take each finger and pray for different people. And one of the things that I did was I combined the 5 finger prayer with the labyrinth. So I
Got
kind of
it.
trace through with each finger,
Got
and
it.
when I finish, I'm ready to move to the next one. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, I was really distracted when I started, but using my fingers and following the path, I found that I was able to like actually focus better, because it wasn't just my head trying to think; it was also my hand-eye coordination and all that stuff. So
Yeah. That is really neat that it brings you in. So yeah, I mean, I guess if you're watching this, we'd encourage you to you maybe turn off this right away if you have the time and sit down and do your labyrinth, or wait till your kids go to bed or your older brother's away from you, or whichever person is working on this. And yeah, kind of stay what's the word I want to say, like stay dedicated with your Lent time and try this physical activity.
yeah, and if it's not special the first time, that's okay.
Yeah.
God's still doing something. You know, any time that you give to God is so worth it. Uh,
Yeah,
you won't regret it.
I love that you included that because I think sometimes we get so caught up in our human emotions, and if we don't feel something immediately, we're like, oh, well, that didn't work, or God's not here, or God's not real, and it's like, no, hold on, that's not. Yeah, good point, man. You must be thinking over there. I love
I think every once in a while.
it. Awesome,
Right.
man.
What's our activity for next week? Yeah, it's coloring prayer.
Mm. Yeah, I'm excited to do that one too, man, because I know like adult coloring has come in vogue a little bit. I mean, it's almost come in and left, but like I find now that I have a toddler at home, when I sit down and color with her, you don't even realize, just like, yeah, when filling in the colors and the lines, it's just like, it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I kind of missed the boat on adult coloring books,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm ready to catch it.
Yeah, I think I did as well, but all right, man. Any closing remarks here on this one, or?
um, keep it up if you haven't started yet. You can still start.
Yeah,
Don't be discouraged, and remember, this isn't about you know, maintaining some standard of excellence. This is about you kind of walking with Jesus through these, you know, his time of temptation in the wilderness, and a difficult time, right? So there's a lot of heaviness that might come up with Lent, and that's okay.
yeah.
Um, don't be discouraged. It's all part of the process.
I love that, man. Yeah, you're dropping hammer after hammer here. Like, I love the not maintaining a standard of excellence. Like, that's definitely not what it's about. You know, Jesus even says nobody's good besides God, so don't even worry about being good. So awesome. I love it, man.
Sweet. All
Yeah.
right.
We'll,
Well, yeah, let's do some coloring and we'll meet up next week.
yeah, tune in next week and we'll go from there.